Alright, it's my job today to expose every lie about this SGA versus Jokic MVP race and put things in perspective. If you're tired of watching videos from people that are playing favorites, I'm talking about one side that says SGA is a free throw merchant and makes Jokic up to be this generation's 7-foot Larry Bird, or conversely, they say that SGA is this generation's Kobe and that Jokic would literally be doing anything else than playing basketball, so how in the world can he win his 4th MVP? Take heart, because you've come to the right place. So here's everything you need to know objectively about this tightly contested MVP race between SGA and Jokic. Welcome to Topic Tackle by yours truly, Josh Carson JC3. If you want to get rewarded for supporting the channel, check out the description. And hitting the like and subscribe buttons, those are quick and easy ways to support what we got going on around here as well. I appreciate y'all. Let's get into this. Okay, just so y'all know, I really don't have a horse in the race, to steal a line from Nikola Jokic here. I'm a fan of high-level basketball. Having played competitively and now working full-time in sports media, I get to watch a lot of high-level athletes. This channel exists to highlight those players and give credit where it's due, so you don't have to worry about my analysis being based and biased on some media narrative, okay? We're keeping it real. We're keeping it about the actual product on the floor. So I want to start by dismantling this narrative, the statement that SGA is nothing more than a free throw merchant who might as well be called the James Harden of the 2020s. While it is true that at the time I'm recording this video, that SGA leads the league in free throws made at 8.5 per game. That's 1.6 more than Giannis in second place. Take note that he is second behind Giannis in free throws attempted per game at 9 compared to Giannis's 10.3. Now, with that said, if you take away SGA's free throws made per game, he still leads the league in points per game, according to this post on Instagram from March 14th. Heck, the man leads the league in 20-point games, 30-point games, 40-point games, and 50-point games. A bucket is a bucket, real hoopers know, and Shea gets them, regardless of the free throws. But sure, getting to the line and cashing in, that's a big part of SGA's game. But is he drawing fouls like Harden used to, with the step back threes and by throwing his head back, nearly every time he drove into the lane? What I'm asking here is Shea really out here acting to sell calls, or is he putting himself in positions to draw fouls because he has the defense leaning and on their heels reacting to his moves? Well, let's go to the game film, and we'll start with Thunder at Celtics from March 12th, 2025. He shot 11 free throws in this one, made 10. We'll get to some of those and how he drew them. Jaylen Brown, I believe, fouled out in this game as well. And so he was working against Pritchard. That's a smaller defender. I guess you can say mouse in the house. He's not necessarily a big, but the back down there to the fadeaway is pretty clean. And then this right here, no whistle, and he still made it. I mean, you could argue Brown does have his hands on him, and that's the thing too. What we have to notice is, does he have, when he drives, is he initiating contact, noticing the defender's arms are on him, hands are on him, like right there. That could be an example of it. And so he drives in here against White. You can see the forearm of White on him there, and so he smartly flips it up. Is that what you would say foul baiting, creating that kind of James Harden type contact, just selling it, throwing his head back? I would argue no on that play. And this is no Harden double triple step back. That's just a clean step back three. And look at how smart, I got to go back here. Look at how smart that is, right? We saw what just happened with Horford. Okay, so this previous play, he's kind of lulling Horford to sleep. I mean, Horford clearly is kind of playing back on his heels. And then he literally gets him to jump back there and goes to the step back three. Now watch this next possession, okay? See if I can pause this on time. Watch how he gets him with the step back again. But then Horford reacts to it, comes out on him, and so he blows by him. Right there, you see the hesitation? Horford was frozen. Horford wasn't about to back up because of the three that just happened to him, so he takes it to the rim. against Brown. Gets the call. I believe that was Brown's 5th at the 6:48 mark in the 4th. And so let's look at this one again. I mean, Brown does have his hand on him. So what do you say? Do you say that that's foul, baiting, free throw, merchant type activities, or is that just being a smart basketball player? And then he's using his body, spinning off of Pritchard. Mid-range, and then here, White. And that's just, that's nasty right there. That's that mid-range master, as they call him. Let's now take a look at the Thunder at Bucks from March 16th, 2025. Keep in mind that this is 2 games after the Celtics game, and this game specifically is the second night of a back-to-back after a win in Detroit where Shea dropped 48 points. And that's a step back. Now, we got to watch in this one. He do be using the off arm in this one. It's going to make these drive-in shots easier. And see, okay, here's an example right here. So SGA is going against Lopez. So can we all agree that there is a major height and size disadvantage here for SGA? So he drives. So SGA, he has that left forearm off arm. And he's going to use it a little bit to kind of bump Lopez out of the way, but using Lopez's momentum at the same time, so it's not super egregious contact, not just like from a standing position. Lopez is already going that way. So he's going to use that, create space, and so he can get off the floater. Now, what would you say? Would you say that that's bending the rules? Would you say that he's trying to, foul bait here? Or would you just say that that's using physics to his advantage and smart basketball? Plus, here's the deal. If you played basketball, you know that Brook Lopez is likely going to block this shot unless he can create some type of separation. Even if he was to go up for a floater, Lopez has the reach, the size, everything on him. So he needs this separation in order to get this off, right? And so especially if you're going against a big. So I don't blame him one bit for doing that. Play where he drew the foul, use momentum. Here's another one. He's driving into his defender. His defender has the hands on him. So what are you going to do? You're going to notice it and go up for a shot. Is that smart basketball? I would say so. Now here's when he starts cooking Kuzma. All right. Possession after possession in this third quarter. I really do not understand why Milwaukee didn't try to switch somebody else. Maybe Kuzma was being stubborn. Oh, I can take him. But there's a couple of step backs that you already witnessed right there. I believe we're about to see another one. And again, that's just a little off arm, man. You can't even be calling. Man, I don't know. To me, it's clean basketball. It's all within the rules. You got to be able to do things when the ref isn't looking and be able to use physics to your advantage. And that time, he just got by him after the screen was kind of faked up there. Anyway, here's another rip through. Oh, that's just nasty right there. Fade away. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, to call this man a free throw merchant is honestly really short-sighted and diminishes his overall game. If you've played basketball, if you know how it goes, to do what he's doing out there, it's not easy to do that. Maybe his play style, it's not your favorite. But the alternative is the continued three-point barrage that we see on a nightly basis. And yeah, that's you out there. I know a lot of people are fed up with this style of play. That's why I said, maybe you're the one who's fed up with that. So get this picture for a second. Do you know that out of all players, not just guards, I'm talking players of all positions, SGA ranks 55th in three-point attempts per game at 5.8. And he's still leading the league in scoring even without his made free throws per game. Just let that sink in for a second. So if you're against the three-point revolution and also against SGA at the same time, what are you for? Okay, just to put a capper on this, SGA is not a top contender for MVP just because of his scoring, but also because of an intangible like leadership. Do you know that in those games that I broke down earlier, OKC was without All-Star Jalen Williams in both? Do you know that OKC is 2-0 against the defending champion Celtics this season and have only one loss against the entire Eastern Conference? They are still the youngest team in the NBA, and SGA is leading them like they've been there before.
This group is very low-key tonight. Did you set them straight? Yeah, we're going up. Hey, before the world's eyes.
For me, like, I just think you play the game to win. Like, you don't play the game to score a bunch of points. You don't play the game to get a bunch of rebounds or assists or steals, like, for stats. You don't play for anything besides to win. And that's what it's all about. And, like, obviously, the stats and the individual stuff puts you in another stratosphere, but to get over that hump and to be, like, regarded as one of the better players to ever play, you have to win, because if you don't win, then it's all for nothing. That's just how I see it. And that's how I see it in golf. That's how I see it in football. That's how I see it in competition, period. And winning is the be-all, end-all for me.
And that's it. Because OKC keeps winning, SGA can do things like shine his logo on TD Garden after the game and be an MVP frontrunner. Okay, the other lie that I want to get after is this notion that just because OKC is going to finish as the outright 1 seed in the West, that Shai should be awarded MVP automatically just because of this. Now, you may think I'm contradicting the previous point I just made about Shai, but consideration for MVP cannot factor in winning and points per game alone. Why, you ask? Because the Joker is putting up numbers we've literally never seen before. That's not hyperbole. I know that goes around the internet a lot. We've never seen these numbers before, and his play is directly tied to Denver's success. Jokic is averaging 29.1 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 10.3 assists per game. He's shooting 57.5% from the field and 41.3% from three, and he's taking 4.6 attempts per game from deep as a near 7-foot big. This post was from March 8th, so the numbers are a bit outdated, but his points and assists per game are noticeably higher than any of his previous 3 MVP seasons. And I thought Nuggets coach Mike Malone put it well when he said this about the MVP race.
You know, as we wind down this season, this whole MVP thing is really going to pick up. And you understand that. That's a part of it. Obviously, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a great player. And if he wins his first MVP, he's deserving of that. My thing is this, if you didn't know that Nikola won 3 MVPs, and I put player A and player B on paper, and you had no idea that the guy who's averaging a triple-double, the guy who's top 3 in the 3 major statistical categories, things that no one's ever done, he wins the MVP 10 times out of 10.
Love him or not, Coach Malone, he always stands up for his players, and in this instance, he's 100% right. Shai may have Jokic in points per game, but that is literally the only category he has him in, as the Joker averages far more rebounds and assists, and he actually shoots a better percentage from the field and from 3. Jokic also had the first 30-20-20 game this season as well against the Suns, and they needed every single one of those stats to win that game. That was a game in which he had a triple-double in each half. No one's ever seen that before. So Jokic said this: I will say that I think I'm playing the best basketball in my life, so if that's enough, that's enough. If not, SGA deserves it. Heck, last year he was challenged by Shaq when receiving the award. Shaq basically said SGA should have won. He said, okay, if you want to win, you give it to him. It doesn't really matter to me. It's just like, for him to even say that he's playing the best basketball of his life makes me believe that he cares maybe, like a little bit more than this. Maybe he cares like this year. But even he's acknowledging like, wow, I am playing really well. PER, he's a smidge above SGA. Win shares, he's a smidge behind. Both teams have gone 2-2 against each other this season, with Jokic and SGA both having standout moments throughout the series. So that is really a wash. Denver is likely going to finish in that 3 or 2 spot, which would put them right behind who other than the Thunder in the standings. Basically, I think this is going to come down to voter preference and even voter fatigue. SGA has never won the award before, and his team is number 1 in the West. Jokic would be receiving his 4th MVP, and his team is not going to be number 1 in the West. If winning matters more to voters, SGA will get it. If stats matter more, Jokic will get it. If I had to make a choice, I'd award it to SGA, because OKC is not only the best in the West, but the youngest team in the entire association. And guys this young aren't this good without a great leader, and that guy is SGA. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. SGA or Jokic, your 2024-25 MVP. Who is it and why? I'll be back with another episode of Topic Tackle coming soon as always. Stay solid, people.